start streaming. Then on YouTube. Okay, it seems to be going. Do 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 do. Copy video URL.
Ah, that is.
Yep, and this is
That is.
that is a stream, my good sir.
Oh no! It looks like I'm here today with Ben Saint, given that you're playing Noita.
No, no.
I think that was like my first exposure to Noita. Like I've not been into it. It's not my not my style as it seemed. But yeah, that's how I got to know about Noita.
Oh, Michi saying he probably can't show up. That's fine.
That was kind of expected.
I'm gonna put that's fine schnookums. That's gonna be a funny way to say that's fine.
I have no idea what that's supposed to mean.
It's a cutesy. It's like a cutesy thing that you would that generally people in America, two men would usually not say that to each other. So
I've never heard that one before.
it's kind of like an old timey cutesy name that you would use in a couple. It's a wildly inappropriate thing to call him under many circumstances, which is why it's funny.
I see.
Okay, I'm gonna tell Michi have fun and tell Ben to drop by. Tee hee hee, I'm so hilarious.
He will not know what that means.
No, probably not. Okay, so we've got. No, I need to change the thumbnail. Darn it, this is so bad. How did I mess up this bad? Okay,
Well,
edit. Oh, I need a Noida image.
just the N word. Not that N word though.
Yeah, the real N word. Noida.
Yeah.
You know, if you said Noida quickly in the wrong context, it probably would sound like a slur.
Everything can sound like a slur. Like it's the way you pronounce it.
Very, very true. Okay, and I'm going to save Noida as the thumbnail, and I'll retweet that, and there we go. Okay, we're here. Oh, Michi says Ben is busy filming the Mezio lecture. Classic Ben.
Oh, sure, yeah. I mean, it would be fun, or funny at least, if that ever happens.
Yeah. Might take a while. Might take a while to get there.
Yeah, sure.
I don't think we're gonna have material for a Mezio lecture anytime soon. Chapter 2 is on way though. I have it on good authority.
Yeah. On the same authority as always.
Yep. This is actually I did totally learn about this game from Ben Saint. I was never really a fan of. Oh crap! Oh no, this is already bad. Fuck. Okay, well I'm already. Yeah, don't watch the screen. Don't watch what's happening. I was never.
I'm watching it with a delay, I guess. So.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I could also stream it in server if that would make things easier.
No, it's fine this way. It's fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I was never a big fan of Ben's solo stuff. I mean, I was never a big fan of most of the PCP's solo stuff. I did watch a few of his Noida streams. That's how I learned about this game. It's a pretty good game.
No, I watched him draw like a few times.
I do not mean this as an insult at all. I didn't even really know that Ben was working on comics right now. Like I don't follow his stuff at all, really.
No, I don't mean recently, like back when he was doing like the Champion and stuff like that.
Oh, he did Champion a while ago, didn't he?
No, that's years ago by now, I think. It's kind of sad it's only like one chapter. It was pretty good, like in terms of premise, and I mean I like his art style and the way he writes. I like the Vapors a lot.
I did look at a bit of his I did look at a few pages of Champion. It did look like good art style. Like, I mean, Ben
I mean, yeah,
seems to
it's
have
his
talent.
art. Yeah. Watch Michi teleport into the server and disagree or something.
No, Michi's just counting his blessings like he usually
Yep.
is. Hmm.
Yep.
I wonder if I could get this guy under the water. Wait,
Hmm.
this is...
Would he know that that kills him? I mean, I don't know if it does, but
No,
I assume
probably
it
not.
does.
I mean,
No
I don't...
sense of self-preservation.
Nope. Do, 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 do.
Look at him go. The silly wizard with his oversized wand. What's he compensating for?
Yeah. Do, do, do. What should I play? Yeah, I have been playing this game a bit more lately because they didn't have any good updates for a very long time with this game. And now suddenly there's a bunch of new powers and wands and stuff, and
Let's see.
Noida's a game that it has some really good ideas, but it did have a few flaws in execution. Not even anything horrible, but things that definitely did make it harder to replay after a while. One, Noida has way too many issues with the first level affecting your run, I think.
I think that's like a problem with a lot of those sort of roguelike things. Like I've been playing Balatro recently, and if you just fuck up early, or rather don't get good jokers early, then it feels pretty much impossible.
Yeah, unfortunately the problem with... Oh, is this gonna work? Is this gonna work? Yay! I got the water to fall on him. I am the fucking best. Yeah, the problem with Balatro, like I love FTL. FTL is my favorite game. In
Yeah.
FTL, the early stages of a run they go by very quickly, and if something's not going well, you literally just hit two buttons and you're restarting. There's
Yeah.
very
Also
little investment.
in Faster Than Light, the first sections also tend to be comparatively easy, no matter what you do. You then run into problems later if you don't keep getting good stuff. But early parts are usually fine.
Yeah, the frustrating part of Noida is it's a slow, methodical, thoughtful dungeon crawler. So getting through the first few levels and then realizing, oh, I didn't find a good wand, there's no real point, or I might as well restart. That is a little more frustrating because it's just enough investment to make you feel bad about trying to restart.
Yeah, it sounds annoying.
Where in FTL, there's no point. In FTL, if you get to the end of the second stage and you don't have anything good, you might as well just restart. And it's fine because it'll take you 5 minutes to make that up.
Yeah. I mean, I usually don't, but well, I've never beaten it, so I can't talk about it in
Nope.
any sense of authority.
Nope, you can't. It's a rule. Oh,
Yeah.
hey, it's a bunch of fire. Well, yeah, but
That's what
yep,
they said when they enter hell.
yep. Ben Saint has good taste in video games. I will give the man that much. Do do do
Hmm.
do do do. I don't know if do I want this? Maybe. Yeah,
Do you
that's
like
cool.
know like all the ones by heart by now, or at least the older ones?
I definitely don't. I recognize a few of them, but I am not the best at this game. I was never a Noida maniac. I do like Noida. I occasionally go through stages, and now that they actually updated the game for the first time in so long, I've been playing it a bit more. Also, I hate video games in general, so there's also that.
Why? Why is that?
I don't know. It's just not my normal thing. Um, it's actually not even fair to say I hate video games. They're just never my main thing.
Yeah, I mean that's like a very different take on it. Like hating video games sounds like very different from they're just not your main thing.
Yep. What am I going to go for here? I'm talking to you, so I don't want to spend a bunch of time overthinking it. I like the little zigzag lightning thing. It's very strong in the early stages. This, maybe I'll give this a try. It says a lot of mana. Probably not gonna need this guy. If I... Wait, what did I just buy? Okay. Oh, crap. That's got some heft to it. Wow, I kind of like this. No. What if I do?
What the heck? Why is it? What's the stuff going upwards?
It's gas that flies out when you use acid.
Oh boy.
Yes!
Committing war crimes.
Oh crap! How could this go wrong? That is what I like about Noita. Towards the end, like if you're playing Noita right, you are way more dangerous to yourself than the environment is.
Yeah.
Man, so that's cool. I almost don't even need anything else. Let's just, do I want this? No. Do I want this? No. 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 Well, I guess I'll keep this, and I'm not going to use the bomb. Using the bomb with the acid would be insane. I kind of wonder how that would go.
Only one way to find out.
I mean, if I wasn't stupid, I would buy this and find a way to... Okay, fine, world, you win. I will try this. I was gonna say if I wasn't stupid, I would find a way to trigger a secondary effect. I'll try it later. I'm just gonna do the acid for now. Let's just see what happens. Let's just believe. Additional mountain. Your projectile spells have a chance to duplicate. I don't know if I want that right now, honestly.
Well, twice the amount of gas.
YOLO. Yeah, it's such a bummer when you find a way to make just a crazy overpowered wand, and then you use it slightly wrong and it blows you up instantly. That's always such a bummer. One of the best runs of Noid I ever had, and one of the most fun wands I ever had. I made a wand where it shot out just the initial trigger spell, just the spark spell with trigger, and then it triggered a pentagram shape of plasma cutters. So it would fire out the little thing, hit something, and then a star of plasma beams would shoot in every direction. And I was destroying things with that. But the obvious problem is if it went off slightly too close to me, it would kill me in one shot. And of course, there was like a little fleck of dirt flying through the air, and I hit it, and it blew up too close to me, and it cut me in half. It's like, damn it.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. Oh, this wand is such a bad idea. It's just nothing but acid beams. Well, what else is on your mind, Jaws? We were talking about Ben Saint and how we both unconditionally love him. What else is up?
Not really, not much. I mean, I've been reading the first lore books. The second one I finished. I'm halfway through the third one. I think I like the second one more than the third one so far. Like the first half of the second one I liked quite a bit, and then the second half wasn't as good. And I would say the first half of the third book is maybe the same as the second half of the second.
Wait. So are you rereading it? You said?
No. I mean, yeah. While I was talking, I realized that what I was saying sounded confusing.
Yeah, that was confusing. You're saying the second is better than the third?
Yes, like so far. That's basically what I was saying. I just added more detail in what parts are better or worse than the other ones, but that does not really matter.
Okay. I think these guys might be immune to acid.
Well,
that wasn't smart.
Colored.
Oh no. This doesn't work on green colored monsters. Okay, well this is fun. We're still having fun. Oh, it might not. Did it hurt them? Oh, okay. Yep, let's just jive into... Fuck you!
Like, does the gas hurt you? It doesn't look like it.
I don't think the gas really hurts you directly. It is flammable though, which is the other thing.
Ah, oh god, yeah, that will not lead to any problems at all.
Yep. Oh, fuck.
I mean, it's like I remember when I found out that fuck, what's it called? Shit.
Shit.
Um, yeah, sure, shit. Man, how the fuck did I forget the word? You know what you make like bread out of? Like I don't mean dough, I mean
Yeast?
the stuff. No, not yeast. The grains when you grind them down. What's
Yeah,
it
what
called?
about them?
Yeah, what's it called? The word when you
Flour?
like flour. Yes, exactly. That stuff can explode. Like
Oh
that's
yeah, it totally can.
yeah, that was pretty surprising to find
Yeah.
out that.
That
And,
used to
yeah.
happen. That used to happen a lot in the old Western days. Silos would blow up sometimes because if the friction got high enough, they'd blow up. You can actually do it yourself if you have do you have any like cornstarch? I mean, I'm not saying do this right now, but
I don't think.
if you have any cornstarch, you can hold cornstarch under a flame and it like might sizzle a bit, but nothing really happens. If you put like cornstarch under a straw or like a puff of air, like near a match, and you blow onto it, it will basically blow up because once it becomes like an aerosol in the air, it can light really quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
it's
really
fun.
weird that this. I mean, the same stuff also happens in like mines with dust. Or wait, I'm not sure if it's dust, but yeah,
Yeah,
same thing
it's
basically.
what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, that's the reason why I was thinking about it when I saw all the
Oh,
green gas around. It reminded me of that.
I only have 6
Oh, there's the
health.
fire.
This is probably not going to end well. Do, do, do. Oh, there's a portal. Can I get to it before I die? Um, I don't know what this is, but I'll take it, and I win! I am the best.
Green wins again. How
Yep,
could it be
as
different?
always, as eternally.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, Michi's having a great time though because I'm obviously not going to share, intimate details about his life, but as you well know, he might be acquiring more wealth through no fault of his own, just by the happenstances of fate. So,
I did not know.
he's uh he's having someone over today to help him decipher how much fortune he's getting this time.
Ah, okay,
Very
that's
cool.
what that was about. Okay,
Yeah,
interesting.
there's a
Hmm.
I made a lot of jokes were had about like, okay, I'm going to be living in this place eventually, so make sure
Yeah.
you fix it up all nice. Uh, okay, I have the buzz saws. That's pretty cool. I mean, I do like the acid thing. I don't know if I should keep it. Hmm.
How much, like, how much stuff can you keep?
Chaotic path, and and it and turns creatures it hits into fireball throw. I think they just like radically increased the power of the average wand in the recent update. I don't know that for sure, but it really seems like it did. Okay, this
Mm.
might kill me instantly, but I'm going to try it real quick. Ah! The shit? Okay. What? That wasn't a chaotic path at all. Ah! Okay. Oh, every other one is doing chaotic path. Okay. All the fish are dead.
Oh no, yeah, you killed the fish.
Damn it.
Hmm.
Okay. Chaotic. Oh, I'm fucking
Any,
stupid. I had them in the wrong order. I haven't played Noid in a while.
did any of your shrimps survive?
No.
No,
Last
you
time I
didn't even.
checked on my tank, there was one shrimp left. Several of them committed suicide in the last few weeks, so it seems my shrimp tank has collapsed. Oh no. I angered the gods.
Yeah, because you
Oh,
let your shrimp die.
no. So,
Ah,
fuck.
like, what triggered the you have angered the gods
If you
thing?
destroy if you try to dig through the sacred temple sections, it angers the gods. So by destroying I don't think I'm winning this. So by digging too far into the dirt below me, yeah, this is not going to end well, I think. Ow! Fuck!
So it's like ill-advisable to test your wand in this area, because
Yeah,
if you destroy too much stuff, this happens.
yes. So,
Hmm.
oh, John is stuck in a conversation. We'll just call them a Noida and walk away. You're dead. Click here for slots. New game! Yep, I lost, but that's fine.
Reincarnation.
Mm-hmm.
You
Oh,
only live infinite times.
yep. I got the little sponge ball thing, so that's cool. Yeah, but no, yeah, Michi's too busy to be here. He's too busy randomly acquiring wealth and social status. So now, but John should be here. Oh yeah, it's Memorial Day too.
All right, I keep forgetting about that.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
the
think we have that in Germany, or at least it's not today.
well, it's Memorial Day is about the Civil War, so it would be weird if you had that.
Okay, I was confusing it with Veterans Day then.
Yeah. Well, and Veterans Day is a weird one too, because I mean, do you know American Veterans Day?
I know about it. It's not like I know any details.
Well, Veterans Day was formerly, oh, fucking bastard. Veterans Day was formerly Armistice Day, you know, commemorating the ceasefire at the end of World War One. So I imagine Germany has
Oh.
some equivalent to it. Um, or is that a bitter memory? I mean, that's part of the thing with America too. It's a bitter memory. It was never supposed to be a fun holiday. It was supposed to be a somber,
Yeah,
you know, remembering the moment where the world was destroyed and you know we all were sad about it. It was never
I
supposed
actually
to be
don't
like
know.
a
Yes.
fun go to the mall and buy bed sheets holiday, which is what it ended up being.
Hmm. That's a very specific thing to do on a holiday.
Yeah. Well, oh no, that's Martin Luther King Day. Just ignore me. I don't know what I'm talking about. But Veterans Day, yeah, the Civil War, Memorial Day is about the American Civil War, uh, and Veterans Day is commemorating the end of World War One. But both of them just became generic military holidays over time, so they've been mostly stripped of their original meaning.
Yeah, as it happens.
Yeah. Vonnegut actually had a great quote saying that he said Armistice Day was sacred and Veterans Day is not, as the
That's
difference. And
weird.
that was a good quote. I really don't like it, honestly, how America always seems to do this. Maybe all countries do it to some degree, but it seems like a
Like turning
special
it into
trait.
holidays or what? Or
Well,
changing the meaning of
just
it?
the lack of historical memory. There's a really good quote that said the USA stands for the United States of Amnesia. We learn nothing because we remember nothing. And, you know, maybe that's
Yeah,
all countries to some extent, but Americans seem particularly prone to it.
yeah, probably.
Yeah. Well, I find it frustrating because, like, Armistice Day was. It was something very specific. Like, it was one exact moment in time. And if you go back, as you know perfectly well, I'm sure, Armistice Day, it wasn't just one day, it was one literal moment. It was, you know, the 11th second of the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. It was one exact, like, microsecond in human time that was the basis for the holiday. It was as specific as it could possibly be. And then over time, it turned into Veterans Day, which is perfectly acceptable. I mean, you can have Veterans Day, and that's what Armistice Day was, you know, to a fair degree. But oh, I'm about to die. Oh, now I'm really about to die. Damn it. And that's what Armistice Day was to a degree, but it became generic. It became a holiday that could have existed anywhere. I'm gonna make some coffee while I'm talking about this. Armistice Day was, you know, unique and specific. Veterans Day is something that most countries could have. Like, I'm sure China
Yeah.
has a Veterans Day of some kind, which is fine, but nothing really distinguishes the holiday from other countries that could have the same holiday now.
I see.
Because not every country has a military. Not every country fought in World War One.
Yeah.
It's distinctions, and it's having a landmark versus having a sentiment, which annoys me. Uh, I feel like most people would not agree with what I'm saying right now, though.
Well, they probably wouldn't be annoyed. That's probably the difference. But otherwise, history is like it's like a weird thing. I remember just from school how few people were interested in history in general.
Mm,
Like from my like considering my classmates and stuff like that. They did not see it as a useful lesson or class.
I mean, that's true. Oh, hey, I have the bouncy balls again. I mean, that is true, but at the same time, the people who are managing the broader culture, or the people who do care about that kind of stuff, they don't really defend the space either, and that annoys me too. Oh, I found it. Hey, I'm Michi. I found a bunch of gold nuggets at the entrance of the. Is this what he feels like every day of his life?
Yes.
Oh, and
That's
I did not need
that's how
the
much it feels.
ammo pack, but I'll take it. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, well, everything interesting is done by a small group of people. Like
Usually,
you're never going to have anything that a majority of people participate in other than like eating and shitting and going to sleep. Like that's basically it. Uh, but America, someone is throwing the parades, like, and they can have the decency to not change the name. Like that's just what I want. I just want whoever organizes the parade to use the old name for it.
I see.
And maybe that's a petty concern, but I'm a petty person, I guess.
Hmm.
Found some gold and some explosions. This is a pretty good run so far. I got some money at least, so that's cool.
How many places are there? Like how many levels?
Oh, I want to say 7.
Uh,
I mean, I even remember them offhand. It's like there's the entrance, there's the mines, there's the frozen place, the industrial park, the jungle. Then I think it's the old. Then I think it's the old alchemy lab, which is the final stretch, and then the final boss. It's either 6 or 7. And also there's a bunch of hidden areas and bonuses and things like that,
like Ash Lake.
like Ash Lake.
Yeah.
Ash Lake was cool.
Uh, yeah. I didn't even make it there.
That's
Oh
a
well, technically I think I could have, but I just didn't. Anyway, does the entry even count as a level here? I mean, it did not seem like there was anything there.
I'm not talking about the surface. I'm talking about the place you go into right after the beginning.
Okay, like
Uh,
it seemed like you were at the mines in like 5 seconds, so it
oh no,
seemed.
the mines are right after this. I don't even know if that's what they're called. Oh, this just said collapse mines. I don't have the names right. I just mean the area
Yeah.
after this one. Ah, frogs. Fuck. It's funny that in this game, the hardest enemies are also like the easiest enemies.
I mean, that's like always an interesting concept in video games where you have like something like that. Anime that both can be super easy, but also can be super hard at the same time, like depending on circumstances.
God damn it. I want the Giga Disc projectile. Ah, this run sucks.
Five, yeah. Flashback to 2 minutes ago where you said the run was decent.
I know, well, I was wrong, obviously. Well, I'll just keep going and see what happens, but I have a feeling this is not going to go well. I'm also not that good at Noita. If you haven't noticed, you take no... Yeah, okay, I'll just take this.
Since I have no real reference points, I cannot tell how good someone is at Noita.
Well, I mean, I'm no Ben Saint, but who is?
Well, other than Saint.
Yeah. I think Noida is a very cool concept, if nothing else. Uh, It's a cool structure. I mean, it's not the most original idea in the world, but they have a good take on the whole roguelike thing. Oh, now I find a bunch of money, of course.
Yeah, that's how it goes. It's like the red stuff, the red mountain. Is that something special?
The pile of red dust.
Yeah,
Oh, it sets on fire if you put a spark on it.
that seems like it makes sense
Yeah,
based on the color.
yeah, it's like gunpowder or something. Do do do. Oh yeah, I was
Well,
actually talking to Michi because I think the conversation started because we've been watching Full Metal Alchemist together, which which
Brotherhood, right?
yeah, brother,
In
yeah,
this case.
obviously
Yeah.
Brotherhood. Uh,
Yeah.
which
I only saw
feels
like one glimpse of you watching it.
yeah, and it feels like a significant personal event, to be honest. Like it feels like life is going to be different somehow after I finish watching Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Uh,
It's great. Yeah.
well, Michi pointed out because he was complaining, saying, well, complaining might not be the best way to put it, but he was saying, we've watched things that you wanted to watch for the last few times. Why don't we watch something that I want to watch? And I was like, okay, you're pushing it, but it's not the craziest idea. Every now and again we can do something you want to do instead of something I want to do. And we were just scrolling through Mal, and we were noticing like, oh, I've seen this, I've seen this, I've seen this. We were going top to bottom through his Mal list,
Yeah.
just looking at all his highest rated shows, and we realized that other than movies, which are kind of their own thing, I've seen almost everything he would want to see, and and as it, and towards the end we saw Brotherhood, and we had one of those moments. It was like, ha ha ha! Wouldn't it be funny if we watched Brotherhood? Just kidding, then unless, and we just kind
Yeah,
of like looked at
unless.
each other, and we watched a few episodes of it, and I found myself being weirdly invested because with Brotherhood, I don't know how I came to believe this, but I had believed that the old Full Metal Alchemist, which I watched as a kid, I believe that it was at least most of the story. I thought it was somewhere between 50 and 70% of the original story was identical to Brotherhood. I didn't realize that Brotherhood only the first 10 episodes had anything to do with the old show, and it was almost entirely original material that was canon and better. So it went from being a different version of a show I've already seen in my mind to basically being an entirely new show that I just didn't know anything
Yes.
about because I'm ignorant.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
and that changed my view quite a bit. So,
I see.
uh,
Yeah, I think I've had this like little discussion with Michi where we were not sure if we should classify Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood as a shonen. Like I would call it a shonen, and I think he would not. But in this case, I would basically say it's probably the best quote unquote shonen
oh
anime in my
fuck,
opinion. I think I like it more than Hunter x
I'm
Hunter.
I'm I'm dead. I'm fucking dead. Fuck, why'd I come in here? Well, shit.
Did you start off with the first episode, given that that one is anime original?
Um, we did not, but the caveat
That's
there, I
cool.
watched
Yeah.
the first. I attempted to watch Brotherhood a few times, so God damn it, I'm trying to repost my thing. Uh, I watched Brotherhood. I attempted to watch Brotherhood in the past, so by the time I got back to by the time we started, I remembered what happened in the first episode. Michi told me you don't need to watch it, but I remembered
Yes.
they chase a guy around the city. Kimberly reaches through the
Yeah.
bars and they introduce him. Uh, and we've been killing it actually. We've watched anime faster than I've watched anime, and probably since I watched Hunter x Hunter, honestly. We watched 20 episodes in like 3 days,
What the fuck? Okay.
which for
I
me is
completely missed that.
which for me is incomprehensible levels of anime watching speed. Like I never do that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty fast.
Yeah, so we're killing it. But it feels significant because after this, Michi and I really have I have watched all the shows that Michi would be desperate for me to see. There are obviously some movies and there are various things that we could catch up on, but there's nothing I need to watch based on Michi's perception after Brotherhood. So it's we're done.
I was thinking just the recent days, Fate Zero.
Uh, sure, we can watch Fate Zero. We also need to.
There's a,
We also haven't
hmm?
watched JoJo Part 5 in a while. We still need to
Yes, yeah,
finish
we
that.
still have to finish that one. Yeah,
Uh,
that's been on the back burner.
yeah, I'm pretty impressed with Brotherhood. It's great.
It's top. It's absolutely top.
I know I'm not the first person to notice Brotherhood is good, but
Yep.
Brotherhood is in fact good.
It's
The
also like you go first.
no, I have nothing to say.
Really didn't sound like it. It's also like a weirdly good primer for like esoteric and occult philosophy and stuff like that. So that was interesting to see.
Yeah, everything in Brotherhood feels like a direct upgrade of everything in the old show. And it's hard because my brain keeps reaching back, trying to go, it keeps trying to reconstruct what's happening based on old memories of watching the old show. But then the new show is so different. Um, like one thing that is keeps throwing me is how quickly characters die after they're introduced. Because
How many it happens to Hughes? Who else dies
Well,
early?
Hughes is the only death that is shared between the shows. Everyone
Yeah,
else, like that iron-blooded alchemist guy, he was still running around giving speeches at like episode 50 of the old show. Um, and he dies
was
in his
that?
first appearance. Uh,
Is that the guy who gets killed by Scar?
yeah, I think he's one of the first people Scar kills, where he's the dude with the big, like Hindenburg mustache. He's just one of the
I don't remember how he
Well,
looks like or who he is.
exactly. In the old show, he has like a scene where he gives a crazy speech about how he loves to kill people and be in the military, and then he dies. But so many characters die so quickly in Brotherhood, and it's actually great because you can just feel things progressing along. They're snapping, they're rolling. Characters are
Yep.
getting and losing things constantly. It feels like a real story, and you realize, oh, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, it was just they were given these characters by the first act, and they just made up stuff for them to do. Oh, I mean the old show.
Yeah.
Uh, Makes me wish I'd never watched the old show so that I would stop
Yeah.
trying to remember what happened. I mean,
It's fine if you can still enjoy Brotherhood, even though you've seen the other one.
and it's crazy. The Chinese characters are like the best ones, and
They're pretty good.
they're introduced relatively quickly in Brotherhood, and they had no equivalent in the old show.
Really, they are not there at all.
Yes, like you don't even see them. And it's crazy because if they had just waited like two more episodes before they split, they would have gotten some of the best characters. It's yeah, it's just great. It's just it's just my brain won't stop trying to project the old show onto it, and it's annoying. And I'm kind of excited to get far enough that almost all the old characters are dead or irrelevant, so I can just enjoy the new stuff. Uh,
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, the Chinese characters are great. I keep accidentally calling the Chinese characters Yao Ming by mistake and realizing, oh no, that's that basketball player from a few years ago, which I'm not proud of that. I don't even know if that counts as racist.
No,
It's
it
not
doesn't.
good though,
I would say it doesn't.
because it's like one character is like Mean Lao Yao, and I'm like Yao Ming, and I like fuck.
Also, John is here now.
Hey, John is here now.
Hi.
Yay, man. Uh, Better to have more people. How are you doing, John?
Not terrible.
No, at the moment, why are you so quiet?
Hmm?
Huh?
Don't change anything. Hold on.
Okay.
Sounded fine to me.
Do. Hey, John, say something.
How does it sound?
A little better. Say something again.
How does it sound again?
Man, what? You were quiet, but okay. That sounds
Do you have
okay.
me turned down because of?
Nope. Now I have you turned up, but we'll try this for a while.
Okay. Do I sound okay to you, Jaws?
Yeah, mostly.
Huh.
I don't know what's up with the variety of the audio levels sometimes. RA is the worst one by far, where sometimes I have him cranked up to 200, and then sometimes I have to go down to like 40 because his sound changes a lot, and I'm not totally sure why. Maybe because he's just on his phone part of the time, and his phone mic's not good. But yeah, we were talking about Memorial Day, Veterans Day. Now we're talking about Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and I'm just lamenting that I saw the first show when I was younger, because the new one is so much better, and my memories of the old show, my brain keeps trying to parse them together into one whole, and I'm trying to train myself like, no, they're legitimately different shows. They have nothing to do with each other. Stop trying to snap them together in your head. It's not going to happen.
Yeah. Who's your favorite character right now?
Oh, I mean, oh shit, that's hard. It's probably the Chinese characters. It might be the
Ling, I guess.
Yeah, it might be the Chinese girl character, but I don't want to say that because that's letting Michi win.
Wait.
Like,
Explain to me why that's letting
the-
Michi win.
Well, because it's like, of course, he likes the cute Chinese character with the little animal sidekick, and also I don't want Michi to win in general. He wins too much. We were talking initially about how the reason Michi can't be here, and obviously we're not giving details, is because he has to manage another ill-gotten flush of random wealth that he got through fucking happenstance. It's he's just like, hey guys, it looks like my estate just doubled in size through no fault of my own again. That's why I can't stream today, but I'm busy managing my assets. But you guys have fun. But I'm enacting my 10-year plan of living in Michi's backyard, so that's it's a win for me as well. No, but the Chinese, I can't say their names because I'm a fucking idiot, but the Chinese girl character is great. I'm gonna pause this for a second. Let's bring up good old
good
old Firefox.
I forgot her name actually. I'm thinking Mao, but I'm watching Apothecary Diaries right now, and the character's name Mao. So maybe
is it Mei Chang?
I think.
Yes.
It's been a while.
Yes. Oh wait, someone says Mei Chang is the least likable character in the series. Fuck you, Reddit. No, Mei Chang's good.
I always like the other girl, the ninja girl, like Ranfan or Lanfan or however her name is.
The ninja?
Pronounced. Yeah, she's cool.
Yeah, the ninja type.
Obviously.
Girl. But Salem, Bradley. I gotta say, I'm liking Bradley more than I liked him in the old show as well. And it's just because he's hilarious. Like, Bradley is so ridiculously aggressive in Brotherhood. He's the king of the country, but he just handles every problem himself.
He's a really good character.
I love him. Like, he's just always poking his head around corners, just like checking on people. It's like, don't you have taxes to collect?
Not he personally.
No, he doesn't. He's so aggressive. Oh, Lin Yao, who I keep accidentally calling Yao Ming because my brain is broken. Lin Yao,
Ling is great.
I like him pretty cool. Mei Chang she's up there. She's one of the best characters, at least. It's really cute. She uses alchemy. She kills the Cerebus character. The way she does alchemy is real cool, where she like draws little circles with her feet and throws ninja knives. That's cool. Winry is a lot better this time around because she's actually a character. She does things. She runs around.
She's also really good.
She flirts with the main character, and she's proactive. She's not just like this bottled love interest who he crawls back to when he destroys his armor. I mean, he does that too, but she's also actually doing stuff.
Yeah. Her whole dynamic with Scar and stuff is also.
Oh, I love Scar too. Scar's one of my favorite characters in this one.
Yep.
He's so fucking cool.
They're all really good. Like in terms of like I would consider it shonen. In terms of shonen manga, it's like the perfect, well, almost perfect thing. Like when I watched it the first time, I don't think I gave out 10s back then, but technically it would have been a 10. And then I rewatched it, and the only thing that I have a problem with is, for one, like the humor, which is like a problem with a lot of anime, that it clashes with the serious tone at times, and that like at first I remember the world building to be very subtle and well woven in, but on rewatch I realized how upfront it actually is. So that was like a little bit of a downgrade. I just remembered it being better implemented than it actually was, but it's still completely fine. Like, it's an almost perfect show.
I mean, the world building is straightforward. I mean, they could have been a little more crafty with, okay, the world is just a circle surrounded by a desert, and every edge of the circle is a different ethnicity. I mean, the world map in Full Metal Alchemist, it's almost like if you tried to have a child draw a map of what they think a country is. Like, this is where these people live, and this is where these people live. I also don't like the city very much, because the city's just a blocky, crappy circle. I mean, Europeans probably think it's great, but...
I mean, you will see some stuff. John, have you seen or read Brotherhood?
I have not.
Okay, so you also have something to potentially look forward to at some point.
I also love how Brotherhood has entered the language, where whenever a crappy adaptation gets redone properly, they just call it Brotherhood.
Yes, it's the Brotherhood. Yeah,
I remember when they did the Fruits Basket remakes, and people were calling it Fruits Basket Brotherhood. That was such a funny thing.
Yeah, in the Tokyo Ghoul community, we are also clamoring for a Tokyo Ghoul Brotherhood.
Yeah, I mean, Mustang's more fun, and every character is better, basically. I mean, maybe Ed is relatively similar personality-wise, but everyone just gets more fun. I love Mustang's fights, because Mustang fights the way that you would expect Armstrong to fight, where Armstrong is supposed to be this muscly, he's like the shit kicker character who, he doesn't even really need alchemy. He could beat a lot of the characters with his bare hands. But his fights are relatively crafty and thoughtful. Every time Mustang fights, it's just him screaming like a maniac and blowing up things right in front of him until he wins.
Yeah.
I enjoy him. Yeah, Bradley's better. I mean, the only things that are worse are just some of the characters. The pace is so fast early on because they're trying to blow past what the old show did. It's frustrating at parts, like the stuff with Tucker was awkward. With the Tucker arc, I found myself saying to Michi, I remembered that they lived with Tucker for a while. Like, weren't they actually there for a bit doing their research? And in Brotherhood, it's implied they were only there for like a day. And then Michi said, "Oh no, in the old show they were together much longer. They're just compressing everything." But yeah, and Hughes got more time in the old show.
Yeah, I've heard about that. Yeah.
Well, Hughes had a period where he was just kind of hanging around, talking about his family and just being a dad. There was a stretch of the old show where Hughes was talking about his wife being pregnant, where he wasn't even a father, like they were going up to him having a kid.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to say, my brain is trying to process how that even makes sense mathematically, but it was something like that. Yeah, but it's better. Bradley's kid is more interesting. One of the hardest things, like literally the hardest thing for me to process, is the homunculi being so different this time around. Because in the old show, a homunculus is a monster that's created when you attempt, human transmutation. And I was expecting that to still be the case, and my brain parsing that is not how it works this time around. That was one of the hardest things about watching this show.
Interesting.
Because
which one of the homunculi do you like the most so far?
Oh fuck, man, I don't even know.
Have they even all shown up yet?
No, I haven't really. I've seen Sloth, but I haven't seen him. In the old show, Sloth was the brother's mom. It was the homunculus they created when they tried to bring their mom back. So it's different. I mean, Greed was much better this time around. I mean, in both
Greed is
cases,
amazing.
Greed is around much later because the old show it split off from the manga before Greed showed up, and then much later they're like, oh fuck, we'll use Greed, and he has a relatively similar arc, but it's less well placed. I like Greed. Lust is pretty cool. Envy's pretty cool. I like Gluttony a lot more because Gluttony is a lot more thoughtful and interesting and important. He really was just an eating monster in the last one. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know which homunculi is my favorite. It probably would be Bradley this time around because Bradley's just so funny and silly and over the top and aggressive. And his backstory is actually interesting, where he's not even totally sure if he's the human or the homunculus at this point.
Yeah.
Uh,
How far? You said you're like 20 episodes in or something. Like, where is that?
oh, we're right at the part. We're right after the part where Mustang confronts the military, and the Fuhrer tells him his backstory. Like that's around where we are. So they've already captured Gluttony and been inside him for a few episodes. The ninja girl has already lost her arm.
Okay.
You know, various stuff like that. And
Yeah,
Scar's so cool.
to-
Scar's so cool too. Like Scar is his story
like
makes
an
a lot
early
more
highlight.
sense in this one.
Yep.
I like Scar.
Yep.
He's very believable and relatively likable. His backstory with Winry's parents, it's more sympathetic because you understand Scar was just kind of spurging out. Where it's not good,
Yeah.
but in context you understand why it went down that way. And yeah, he has a nice little arc. I like that he hangs out with Yoki and Mei Chang and they just kind of chill. They're a wacky little team. Oh, and in terms of plot, we're like right at the episode where Al is independently going down to confront Father to try to figure out how to get Ed back from inside of Gluttony. We're right about there. So they're about to have the big confrontation where they introduce Father.
Hmm.
Yeah. It's great. It's just all cool. Izumi Curtis gets better development. The secret best character is Sheska, the little librarian lady.
Oh, I don't remember her.
Oh, she's the person where Ed is trying to get information on human transmutation and the Philosopher's Stone. And they go into the library, and they're like, oh, all of Marco's records have been destroyed. And then she goes, oh, but I have a photographic memory, so I can just tell you what they said.
Oh, I
Yeah.
don't remember that at all.
Oh, no, she's great. Well, right after it happened, Hughes grabs her and says, you work for me now, lady, and drags her off. And I said, oh, it'd be so adorable if we just saw her in the next episode wearing an alchemist uniform, because she's Hughes' pet now. And then, lo and behold, the next scene she's in, she's wearing one of the military uniforms. It's great. It's a good show.
sense. Yes, it is.
Yep. I don't care who knows it. I think Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is a good show.
But,
Oh
what made
no,
you say
having a
something
popular
so-
opinion.
Yeah, so controversial and yet so brave.
Yes. Well, that's me gushing about Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. How's John feeling? That's what I really want to know.
A little tired, but I'm alright.
Yeah. Is it the type of tired that sleep won't fix?
Yeah, there are like more types of
That
tired that
remains
sleep
to be seen.
Acid. So hard. Well, I don't know. What's on your mind, John? Do you like Brotherhood?
I told you a second ago I have.
Yeah. Oh, wait, right. Why are you ashamed of how you haven't seen Brotherhood?
No.
Maybe you should be.
No.
I'll get to it when I get to it.
Okay.
Yeah. But John, have you seen Fate Zero?
Yes, I have seen Fate Zero.
Okay.
You know, people
we're
say Fate Zero is good, but I refuse to believe it.
Well,
Why?
then you can have like the same experience that you're having with Brotherhood right now.
Well,
Like
because everything with Fate just looks so mass-produced and the only thing about Fate that looks good is Prisma Ela, and we're not going there.
no.
Well, Bruce would love that you just said that. So
And he probably would. No, but I remember like Fate Zero was like one of the anime shows that were like really hyped up at the time, like years ago, when I wasn't that much into anime yet, or rather I hadn't watched that much, and I was kind of disappointed by it when I first watched it, especially by the first season. But the more I rewatched it, the more I realized, okay, yeah, this is actually a really, really good show.
What makes Fate Zero different? Is it a different version of the war? Does it just
no,
have
it's a
better production
prequel
value?
It's the
to
prequel
Fate
that's
Stay Night, but
yeah, and it's
it all-
largely the main difference is that it's largely written by Gen Urobuchi instead of
Oh,
Nasu.
really?
Yes, so it's
Oh.
like yeah, we'll have a lot of similarities in well, not in ideas, but in style to Psycho-Pass. So
Oh,
in terms of how characters and philosophies are written in it.
You had my curiosity. Now you
Now
have
you've
my
had-
attention.
Yes. Yeah, it's like I've mentioned this before when we talked about it some long time ago. Fate Zero is all about the philosophies of the different characters and how they clash, and what happens if you have people with those ideologies interacting with each other and clashing with each other, and the ends this leads to. Like the Banquet of Kings is like a classic scene where you have 3 of the servants who were all kings, like Gilgamesh, Arthur, or Arthuria rather, and Alexander the Great, and they all discuss what it means to be a king, and they all have different ideas about it, and they like. It ends with Saber philosophically getting trashed by both Gilgamesh and Alexander.
That sounds cool.
Yeah.
And
like the main antagonist, Kirei, is just an amazing character.
Yeah, it also helps that sack.
It helps
what?
the sack?
His voice actor.
Yes, like one of the best voice actors.
I am using.
I forget his name, but he's amazing.
That's Joji Nakata.
I am using the spell that kills me every time I try to use it.
Like you get hit by your own saw.
You're Frieza.
Yep. Yeah, the Giga Disc projectile, where it's an insta-kill and it flies around randomly after you shoot it.
Oh, it's random. Okay, yeah, that sounds not great.
Not quite random, but it's squirrely. It's like a boomerang, so you have to shoot it, then run. Yeah. Do. Well, okay. Well, maybe we'll watch Fate Zero after Brotherhood.
Potentially.
It's funny that you just eventually revert back to fuck. It's funny that you eventually revert back, where you start out watching just random shonens, and then in the end you go back to I get into better shows. I'm gonna watch Berserk. I'm gonna watch I don't know, what's another good show? Psycho-Pass. I watch all this like intellectual stuff that makes me look smart, and then in the end you just go back to watching random shonen.
Yeah, I mean, you run out of stuff. Like you mentioned the whole stuff with you and Michi going over the top 250 or whatever animes on Mel, and I do that pretty much every single time I finish a new anime and I'm looking for something to watch, and I scroll down so far, and there's either I've seen all the stuff or the stuff that's on it I'm not interested in, and at the end I waste like half an hour and still cannot decide on anything.
Yeah, well, to quote a certain someone, watching anime is the worst part of being an anime fan.
No.
Oh, okay.
It's
well,
just
maybe that's
hard. It's just hard to find stuff that I'm still interested in.
Yeah.
Like, I have to wait for good stuff to come out, like Oshinoko season 2, Dan the Dan, Monogatari. I mean, Tower of God is probably going to be bad, but I'm still gonna watch it.
I fucking hated Tower of God. I don't know how people watch that.
I mean, the anime adaptation is okay-ish. It's not great. But it has its own charm. It has some good stuff in it, like the actual story. Do you remember what you hated specifically about it?
Well, it just seemed like a nothing show. It just seemed like nothing was going on.
I mean, it's like the prologue. The first it's got dismantled. The first season is like very different to how the well, not exactly very different, but it has a very different setting and I don't want to say style, but the whole thing about the Tower of God is obviously people climbing the tower and what that means and stuff. But the entire first season and the prologue of the show is set on just one floor, basically. So you don't even get to start the tower until after that.
I mean,
Because
that's
it all
cool
revolves
and all.
around one specific event, like the twist event that probably everyone knows by now. That's basically what
Doesn't someone push someone off a rock or something?
Yes, yeah, that's exactly the event I'm referring to. That's pretty much all the first season is about, is a build up to that.
Yeah, there's like a girl who's like green and has a tail or something.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
then there's a girl who kind of like I thought it was the same character untransformed for a while where she has like brown hair. I guess she's kind of cute too. Like there's a couple character designs that are kind of okay, but that seemed like all the show was going on. Like I didn't even get what the concept was. Like okay, there's a tower, God's in it. We're going up the tower.
The idea is just the basic thing where there's a metaphysical, like half metaphysical, half real tower that if you get to the top, you get one wish. Fulfilled. That's the idea.
I mean, that's cool, but I could also just play Twisted Metal 2, and it's the same thing, but I get to be a guy whose arms are in a giant pair of tires and you shoot rockets.
Man, I mean, it's not a very special premise or anything. And the way it develops, I would describe it as One Piece light because it goes so heavy and vast in terms of its world building, but it's not nearly as focused as One Piece.
Man, Axel is one of the fucking craziest designs ever. Like it's the perfect design if you're like a 12-year-old boy. He's just a guy between two tires and he has like rockets mounted to his shoulders. It's the here I'll share.
This is Twisted Metal, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll drop it in chat like a cool guy real quick. But Axel's so fucking badass, man. When I was 10, this was the best character design I'd ever seen.
His ending in one of the games where he's gonna wish for peace, but the guy shocks him at the end, so he starts screaming in pain, and then the guy's like, "Oh, you wish for pizza? Okay, have a pizza."
Yeah, but anyways,
it's.
I mean, Tower of God would objectively be better if they were all in cars with like crazy power-up weapons and they were shooting each other from their cars.
Would it be?
Yeah, it would be.
In Green's universe, it would be.
I don't know. It just seemed like when I looked at Tower of God, it just seemed like a very tiresome death game where it's just such an established concept. Oh, okay. Goodbye. I miss you already.
Yeah.
This is a.
Did you say he was going to come back? I did not hear.
He implied he was going to come back. I don't know if I trust that because it is Memorial Day, but he did imply he was going to come back. Yeah, it just seemed like a very tiresome death game, where death games are the most.
I mean, it's not a death game.
Or no competition where you get a wish game. It just seems like a very straightforward concept, and the dialogue and the character moments just didn't seem interesting. So it's just like I'm just not gonna watch it. Like maybe it got better after a few episodes, but
not being into it. It's well, generic fantasy shonen stuff, basically.
I mean, when you have something like that, it's going to live or die off of the characters, because everything is so straightforward and so well worn in its tropes that the chemistry between the characters in something like that is all you really have. And after a few episodes, I was just like, none of the characters are grabbing me. So
Yeah, that's like one thing why the adaptation is not as good as the actual manga, because they cut out stuff and change stuff. The early sections, not just the first season, but for strange reason, the artist and the writer refers to specific parts of the actual the story, the webtoon, as seasons, which is very confusing because they probably will not match up with the anime seasons in terms of content. The early parts of like season 2 and all of season 1 have very good character stuff in it at times, but that kind of, well, not disappears, but decreases over the rest of the show, where it turns into just massive world building, and there's an absolute insane number of characters there. Like I'm pretty convinced the writer just makes up characters for single scenes. Like you have one scene where you want to depict one certain character with one certain job, and he shows up only for that one scene and never again. And this happens a lot.
Rack Wraithrazor.
Yes.
That's an interesting name. And Dorsey Jihad.
Yeah, she's like in season 1, she's my favorite character. I still like her, but she also gets kind of a bit worse in terms of her character. But she has an interesting backstory, which we don't know all of it, but the parts we know are pretty good.
Oh, Anak Jihad. So they're related.
Yeah,
the lizard girl and the girl who kind of looks like her are related.
No, that's like a whole lore thing where the king of the tower, he's so powerful. Basically, if he were to have actual children, like he can't have actual children, so he shares his blood with specific women, which then become princesses of Jihad, and all of the princesses are named Jihad with last name, and those two are princesses of Jihad. So that's why they have the same name. They're not related.
Okay, I mean that seems like a fun idea. I don't know if I care enough to.
Yeah, like that. Like the idea with those are there like 12 of, well, their current shit. I'm stupid. Are there only 12 of them? I mean, no, there's more of them, but there are like 12 specific weapons that have to be collected by the princesses, and the princess that collects all 12 of them is basically going to become the queen or something.
Very cool.
Yeah, and Balm is like a nothing burger in the first season, specifically for the anime. He's better in the actual manhwa. Like his whole idea is that he is basically a child who knows jack shit because he's been kept in a cave for his entire life and was only taught by this one girl. So he's super naive. He knows jack shit, and yeah, he gets pushed out of a bubble. Yeah.
I will give Tower of God credit. I at least got through the first episode or 2.
20 seconds.
Yeah, I at least it at least did not seem miserable. It just seemed, I don't know. You can kind of tell when something's influenced by anime, and you can kind of tell when they're forcing it. Like it feels, I don't know. It just felt like a knockoff. It just kind of felt like a generic.
Yeah, it's like. Have you ever been on Webtoon? Because
only very, very briefly. I know people who like some of them, but I've never. Oh fuck, bastard! Oh shit.
Yeah. I mean, if you just take a look at the stuff that's like getting thrown in your face, it all looks the same. It's that's the problem with a lot of manhwa, and most of it is in the same genres, either like romance or fantasy, and almost all of it looks the same and has the same titles. But some of it is good. I like Tower of God, even though it's not amazing. I still like it. I still read it like every time a new chapter comes out. But yeah, it's definitely feels generic outside of some good moments.
I will give it credit though. I did not get more than 10 minutes into the God of High School.
I watched a few episodes of that, but once again, that's one where I've heard the the manhwa is better than the anime adaptation. But yeah, I also dropped that pretty early.
I mean, what's even the point? Like, is every manhwa just a generic game where people are fighting over a wish?
Kind of.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's either that or people like the sort of isekai stuff where people get superpowers and do some fantasy dungeon crawling stuff, like very much what you see in isekai anime and that kind of thing.
I mean, that's, cool and good
But-
for them. Maybe stick to making movies, Korea. Did you ever think of that?
They do that as well. I still haven't seen Parasite.
Well, their
I still have to
movies
watch
are
that.
actually good. Everything else they make is
Yeah.
awful.
I've seen, like, have you ever seen Memories of Murder? That one's pretty good.
I have not seen Memories of Murder.
But have you seen Old Boy?
I did see Old Boy. Old Boy's good.
Yeah.
Old Boy's good.
Old Boy is good.
I don't adore Old Boy, but it's good. And you really should see Parasite because Parasite is an incredible movie. Even if you're
Yeah.
not necessarily completely into the idea, it's a great movie.
Yeah, I have to get into that.
And I did watch a few other Korean movies. I asked certain people who are very into Korean movies about advice, and I watched a few fun ones, including Save the Green Planet, which was the inspiration for the name of this
Oh.
channel, which
Okay, that's
does-
interesting.
which
I
does
don't know.
not come
I-
up particularly often, but I like the reference.
What kind of movie is it?
That's not a fair question, actually. It's a movie based. It's just kind of a weird dark comedy that tries to be ambiguous about what's going on. Would be the best way to
Okay.
put it.
I mean, yeah, that's an explanation, kind of.
They say people like to say don't go into it knowing as little as possible
Yeah.
about the movie
Yeah.
because it's basically about there's a guy who is probably a crazy fuck who his life is horrible and he is acting out this idea that he is fighting off an alien invasion, and it's very obviously a
man.
coping mechanism for how shit his life is.
Yeah, that reminds me of Swiss Army Man, which is kind of the same thing. if you've
It's
ever
a
seen
fair
that one.
comparison. The tone is very different, but Swiss Army Man actually is a fair comparison. And it's
Yeah, so-
about it starts with him kidnapping a businessman who he believes is part of the alien conspiracy, and it's about him keeping the businessman in his basement and trying to quote unquote interrogate him to get information about the
The invasion.
yes, about the home planet and what they plan on doing to invade Earth. And it tries to be ambiguous going back and forth whether or not is there maybe something to this or is he just fucking crazy? And then it ends. And
I
people
see. Okay.
yes, and the ending is supposed to be surprising and funny and interesting, and you're not supposed to tell people.
Good.
But yeah, it's a pretty good movie. I actually watched Joint Security Area. I actually watched this with Michi the last time I was there last winter. Joint Security Area is incredible, and unlike Save the Green Planet, it's a movie that just everyone should watch because it's great.
I think I've heard about this one, but I've not seen it.
I've probably mentioned it. It's a strange movie because it starts very, very different from what it actually is. When it basically starts going on the joint security area between the North and South Korea,
Yeah.
the little dead man's land surrounding the way station where they can pass through if they have papers.
Yeah.
There was an incident and some of the border guards on one of the sides was killed, and someone is sent by this joint commission to go investigate the killings and figure out what happened. Because in theory, these people are never supposed to be anywhere near each other, but the South Korean was on the other side and North Koreans died. And it starts out looking like it's going to be a very slow, dark, cerebral, procedural drama of her investigating to figure out what happened. But at around the 25 or 30-minute mark, they just completely show their hand, and they don't even fuck around. They just immediately jump into flashbacks showing you exactly what happened. and you see what happened, and it ends up being like a very sad but also kind of funny little movie. You almost don't even want to tell people what is in the movie because it's so good. Uh,
Mm.
but it just becomes like a story about this very strange little dynamic that was going on between the North and South Korean border guards that eventually escalated into the killings. It's a great movie though. It was a huge movie in Korea too. It's like they're Gone with the Wind.
Yeah.
When Joint Security Area came out, it was it broke all the records in Korea. It became like this massive cultural phenomenon. Everyone loved it, and it was written and directed by Park Chan-wook, who
Yeah. It's also the guy who did Parasite, right?
I I I believe so, but I don't want to say that and then feel like a fucking asshole.
I mean,
Oh,
I've said it.
he made Old Boy. He made Old Boy.
Oh boy, okay.
I do not
Who
think
did?
he, but
Who did Parasite?
I don't. It's the same guy who did Snowpiercer, but the dad from Parasite is one of the main characters in Joint Security Area as well, and he is incredible.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's the guy who did and but Snowpiercer was made by Boon Joon-ho, who also did Parasite.
Okay.
Yes, there's like two good directors in Korea. There's Boon Joon-ho and there's the guy who did Old Boy.
I'm like I watched like weird Korean movies. Like I don't even remember why or how I got into it. I guess I just watched Memories of Murder and then wanted to watch some more stuff. Like I don't remember what I wanted to watch, but I actually ended up watching the wrong movie, which was Mother, which was interesting. They're like these little thriller movies, or this one was one
Wait,
of
is
them.
that the one with the wait, Mother, is that a Korean movie or an American movie?
It's a Korean movie from what I
Okay,
remember.
it's not that weird it's not that
No,
weird
no, not
conceptual one with the Hunger Games girl.
no, no, no.
Okay.
No, this one is about like a young, like a teenage girl or something getting murdered, and it looks like the mentally challenged son of this mother did it, and she tries to do everything to prove that it was not him. And yeah. Oh, and The Chaser is also one I watched, which you can see there on the right at the top of that list you just had there. Yeah, it's that movie, like that's the mother movie. And it has like a very sad last final scene. Like the Korean movies are kind of fucked up, which is the same with The Chaser, which is also a very fucked up movie. But Memories of Murder, I definitely would recommend. It's very similar to Zodiac. Like it's pretty sure that the style for the Zodiac movie uh, was inspired by Memories of Murder.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and The Chaser is just like a dark thriller kind of with once again a little twist to it.
Yeah, I don't like
You don't like twist
wait,
movies?
wait, no, no, I need to watch more Korean movies because it seems like Korean movies are good. I actually was just talking crap about Korean dramas, but I was just talking to someone the other day where I said the only thing Korea does that's any good is their movies, and they said, "No, Koreans dramas are really good too. Their TV dramas." Like, okay, well, I guess their TV dramas are good too.
I think that depends on the stuff. I haven't watched them, but I've heard some are indeed really good, and others just seem like the soap opera stuff that you are used to. But I can't. I shouldn't run my mouth about stuff that I don't know shit about.
Yeah, well,
Usually, I'm more humble than that.
that's half the why be alive and why talk if you can't just run your mouth about things you don't know anything about.
uh, I'm being influenced by the American presence.
Yeah. It's cool. Well, I should probably do something else. I'm not doing very good at
Mhm.
Noida.
That is fine.
Might do something else. I don't have a lot of my games loaded right now actually. I might play I could play RimWorld, or I could play Faster Than Light, perhaps.
I still have Balatro
Uh, somewhere?
somewhere. Oh right, you don't have the
Oh
Steam
yeah, no,
version, right?
I pirated
Yeah,
it because of, a certain
certain
someone.
somewhere.
I also pirated
I
that.
bought.
I also pirated that Fate game, but I've yet to actually start on
Oh,
that as
okay.
well.
What was I about to say? Right, I've only beaten Balatro once so far. I don't know how many runs I've tried, but I've only beaten it once.
Yeah,
It's like really hard if you don't get the correct stuff.
I've beaten Balatro like twice, maybe. I beat Balatro on my second or third run,
On your first try, yeah,
while
I saw that.
yeah, while Michi was showing me how the game was, and he was very clear
Yeah,
with me saying, that's not usually how it goes. I wouldn't get your hopes
yeah.
up. Balatro is addicting in many ways, but one thing about Balatro that I don't like is with Balatro, it usually just comes down to luck as to whether or not the combo that you're running gets nullified by one of the boss powers towards the end. Where a lot of it comes down to, oh, you build a deck around getting combos with queens, and
Yeah.
then as it goes along, the last boss is, oh, all queens are nullified. It's like, well, okay, I guess I just lose.
Yeah, all your cards are face down, so you have no fucking idea what you're playing.
Yeah, Balatra's still a good game, especially for what it is, but
Yeah.
it's just not quite there. I will be right. I will be right back.
Okay.
And now I am back.
Now he has returned.
What am I going to do? Buckshot Roulette was fun.
I mean, if you like it, I watched a little bit of it, of you playing it, but it seemed very like repetitive. Like there wasn't much to it, or maybe I missed something.
It's a
Like was
very repetitive. It's just a gimmick game. It's meant to be played in 5 minutes,
yeah.
or 10 minutes. You're meant to beat the game once and then never think of it again.
Yeah, I mean, there were like two modes to it, right? After you beat it once, you got like the different mode or whatever it was, and that was it.
Yeah, which
Oh, well, I
know,
recognize this, even though I've never played it.
yeah, this is my game. I got to keep my skills up because it's the one game I'm way better at than everyone else.
Yeah,
And
speedrun it.
and when I tell Michi, he's like, that is not something to be proud of, man. And I'm like, you know what? That's easy to say when you're not good at the game.
Yeah, I think it's something one can be proud of.
Yeah. Oh.
I mean, this should be your response to the who helped you when you were at your lowest thing.
It really is.
Yeah.
This game has actually been like psychologically buttressing at many points, because it is like a nice metaphor. You try the climb, you fall, you try the climb, you fall, and you don't even necessarily always make progress. Really, it's like the it's like you just learn how to climb and fall better. Like you never actually master. You never actually become perfect at the game. You just become perfect at managing the game. it makes you just
Yeah,
become a stronger person until you're capable of handling it. Uh, so, it's
yeah.
like, no, okay. Life never gets easier. You just get stronger. Do, do,
Yeah,
do.
kind of. It almost feels kind of stupid how everything in life requires work.
Yeah, it's the one of the hardest things about life is the eternal sense of feeling like you're still in the tutorial.
I mean, what exactly do you mean by that?
Of always thinking about, oh, in the future or someday I
Oh
will
yes,
be where
yeah,
it's so easy to feel like you are constantly waiting for some future stage where you've actually arrived and you're no longer training for the thing, you're just in the thing.
yeah.
I was actually talking to Michi about that the other day, where uh, it was a dumb conversation because I was talking about how I think I was talking about, was it Hegel or um oh fuck, my biggest problem in this game is I'm not good at this shortcut. I don't even know how to be good at the shortcut. Uh yes, fuck. I just end up going the long way because it ends up being faster, but it's so much easier if you can just get good at the shortcut.
I mean
Uh,
that's also a metaphor for life, like going the long way because it's shorter. That's what JoJo Part 5 is all about.
yes, e- exactly.
Comes full circle.
No! Oh, okay. Whew. The tension is palatable.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. I need to look up a guide at some point saying how to do the hot tub shortcut because that is seriously such a big help. Yeah, I think I was talking about Hegel or something, or I was thinking about wanting to learn. It might have been alchemy actually too. We were talking about like Full Metal Alchemist, and I was talking about how I sometimes catch myself thinking, "Oh, I should go and learn about this because this will be a useful thing to know more about." But then I find myself catching myself and kind of stopping myself saying, "I meant to do that."
We always do mean it. We
Yep.
always get what we want.
Yep, but I then told him I need to not actually get mad because this would be a bad time to get mad at this game. I have not fallen like that in a while. But I told him, uh, I said I catch myself telling myself not to get invested in these little tangents that I think about because I have to remind myself you're not in like your training arc anymore. Like you're a person. Like you've grown to the point where you should not be thinking about endless preparation for some hypothetical thing you'll do in the future. You should actually spend more of your time doing the thing. And he thought this was stupid, and I came to understand why he thought this was stupid. But I don't know. Like sometimes I feel like I should perceive a transition where I'm not an adolescent thinking about what am I going to do with my life. I'm in my life, so I should be, doing life stuff. Or I should at least be cognizant, it don't oh, that was a weird one. I should be cognizant of don't don't think in terms of, oh, if I do this, then someday I'll be able to do something really useful for it, or it'll be very helpful that I know more about it.
Yeah.
Because I should be past that. Um, and Michi seemed to think it was stupid. Or I sometimes think if you were going to do this, you would have done it by now, so you probably shouldn't even think about doing it.
I disagree with that one. I had like a stupid small realization today. Like I thought, oh, I have not like read in like a week or so, and I wasn't sure like when I stopped writing, so I just looked up the date on the document, and I realized, oh shit, it's been way longer than a week. It's been almost like 17 days, and I didn't even notice that it's been that long because I've just been disinterested with continuing, even though I'm not stuck or anything. And the last time I wrote like quite a lot, and it went well and easy. But yeah, I've like the problem with creating anything for me is my my desire for its existence needs to be greater than my apathy towards its non-existence. And if that does not happen, then I'm simply not working on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's kind of stupid because this way I cannot like get things done in a guaranteed fashion.
Yeah, it's
But
not easy. I've been doing much better recently than I was for many months. Uh, really, I mean, honestly, the biggest thing is just sharing some of what I'd written, with other people, ended up being, good motivation.
okay,
Uh,
like how?
well, like I showed that sample I sent out to Michi, and Michi actually really liked it, and Michi basically hasn't seen anything I've ever written, so it was
Uh,
so that was nice. Uh,
hmm,
the idea that other people are actually paying a little bit of attention to me can be very, motivating and buttressing because it gives you something external to, look at, where it's not just the endless cascade of the inside of your mind. You actually have, objective external realities that you can uh, get feedback from and, get a sense of direction. It's like how
yeah, I see.
knowing that you're going to die someday, makes you more productive because it gives you a sense of like there's a coherent endpoint to this that is coming, and it defines, resources and timescales and problems. Uh, yeah,
Hmm.
where it's like it's not just infinite. It's not just the infinite morass of the inside of your brain. There's at least something else that is unmoving that, gives feedback that you can respond to. Uh, because you can sit and you can look at one sentence and rewrite it over and over and over again for the rest of your life. And some authors seem very happy doing that, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah,
Certain
we have
Rothfuses who will
certain
remain
bearded,
nameless.
yeah, certain bearded people.
What is it with beards? Why is everyone who has a beard such a shitty writer?
It's
Uh,
not true. They've written decent stuff. They're just not doing much in the recent years.
well, you know what? Having a beard, it makes you a good writer, but a bad person.
uh, Probably not.
It's mean to say that about Rothfuss, but I actually do think that's kind of true. I don't think Rothfuss's problem is that he's a bad writer. I think he's a bad person. And that's like what the actual issue is. Like if he wasn't a lying, uh, self-aggrandizing narcissist, the other things wouldn't be such a big deal. But he is, so they are. Uh,
hmm.
and in Martin's case, I don't think Martin's that bad, and I don't think Rothfuss is that bad either, really. Like they're not fiends or anything. It's just both of them refuse to be honest with themselves, and that's what all the other problems stem from. Uh,
Yeah, probably yes.
in my case, maybe I'm a little too honest with myself, or where, oh, well, I have no idea how I got here. Oh, there we go. I'm on the boxes at least. Like with me, I think I might even be too honest with myself, because one thing that actually did hurt my motivation, and I'm gradually getting over it, with Bennett Foddy, but just over the last few years, the realization that, uh, also, is John back?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, fuck. We were just talking about writers, and I'm bitching about other writers. I know, crazy, right?
Mhm.
But one thing that did hurt my motivation some is the realization, and it's not a total realization, because maybe I'm wrong to some degree, who knows? But at least accepting the likelihood that succeeding at writing is not going to make my life better.
Yeah, I'm also yeah, was also thinking about that for me personally.
It's like, because I always had the assumption that if I succeeded at something, everything else would be, easier to manage and better. And God fucking bastard. Uh, yeah, that was something that I always believed. And, just realizing that's probably not true, um, it did hurt my motivation. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sure if Michi was here, he'd be like, "What? You care about what other people think? Scoff," and uh, and that's what he would do. And maybe that's the right reaction. Who knows? But yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
well, writing. I mean, it might give you money, but if you succeed, but
Well,
that's about
even,
it.
yeah, a
Fame will
little
make
bit maybe.
everything else worse if you succeed because it only just makes you resent people and it makes people want things from you and it makes them bug you thinking
Yeah.
you can help their careers. Uh, and one thing I thought about or slash realized that really was hard was the realization if people I why am I so bad at this today?
Because you're talking.
Oh, I mean perhaps if only there were other
I
people who could
mean,
talk.
it's
Uh
proven that when your mouth is open, you can't think as well.
oh, okay. But the realization, I'm going to walk away for a second. The realization that if I succeeded, in my career or my aspirations or my hobbies, and other people treated me better, I would probably hate them. I would probably, I would probably start fucking hating the people who didn't support me, when I was a complete failure, and then suddenly, were capable of respecting me now that I had, like, I don't know, money and pull and accomplishment and all that. It would probably just make it harder to like get on in the other areas of my life. Like it would probably be an active detriment. And
Hmm. I mean,
that was rough. That was just a hard
I mean,
realization.
I would not have that problem, but yeah, I mean, we have just different personalities, I guess, when it
Yeah.
comes to this. Now for me, it's just, I mean, the whole reason that I got into creating again even was the realization that um like I fundamentally like make stuff for myself. Like I write what I want to read, and I create like the board games that I want to play. And since they don't exist, and there's no one who is going to make yeah, or write a story exactly like I want, uh, I have to do it myself. And that's the thing that got me doing it again, because otherwise it will never happen. Like if I want this, then I have to do it myself.
Ironically, I think that's how I felt back when I made anime videos. It it was
Yeah, I
more
mean,
my motivation back then was more like I
Nobody else is saying this. I have to say it, or
yeah, it's like other people are out there having wrong opinions about anime and they don't know any better. I have to teach them. I have to train
uh,
them. I have to
that's
show the world what the right opinion is. And
that's so
therefore,
mean.
I have to make anime videos. But now I don't really give a damn if people have the right opinion or not. It's like they don't even deserve the right opinion. Fuck them. And fuck. Oh, I don't know how this is gonna go. Oh, I'm not gonna. It's gonna slide. 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 Okay. Oh, man. Ooh, this is. Yay! Okay. Gonna pause for a second. Hopefully that works out. Yeah, because with anime and analysis and also with like non-fiction stuff, there's a bunch of people who are wrong. They need a great prophet to show them the light, and certain people are not making good videos anymore, so it has to be me. That's how I used to feel. With fiction, it's much less. It's much less that way, and I do totally like desire validation from other people. Like I'm mature enough to admit that. I'm comfortable admitting that.
Good for you.
It makes me a hero.
In your own eyes, at least.
Yes, in my own eyes, at least.
Yeah, but that's what matters.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. And it does definitely hurt my motivation to realize, like, I think I was maybe well served, at least subconsciously, by the delusion that there would be like other rewards if I to success other than just success, and realizing that no, success is just what it is, man. It wasn't the worst, but it wasn't the best either.
It wasn't the worst of times. It wasn't the best of times.
It was the middest of times.
Yeah, it was the middest of times. It's like, oh, great. I mean, you kind of realize eventually the people you had, when you were, like when you were you, and how they felt about you. Like that's all you're ever going to have, really. Like even if you get the success of or the respect of like outside people, like it's not worthless, but it doesn't help very much. So you just kind of are going to be the person you are, and you just have to deal with that, and that's a lot to deal with.
Yeah.
What about you, John? How are you feeling?
I'm still pretty tired.
I mean, as the day goes on, we should grow more tired.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, but it's only 2 p.m. here. I really shouldn't be tired.
Yeah.
I mean,
I probably just ate too much for lunch. That's probably what happened.
I mean, that can have an effect. Yeah, but you also got like, how early do you have to get up for like the D&D stuff? Like 6 a.m. or something?
It's 8 in the morning my time, so that's not that bad.
Okay.
I mean, I'm usually out of bed by 6 just on a work day, so.
Okay, I thought it was earlier than that. Well, that's not too bad then.
Before the daylight savings change, it was 7 in the morning, and I think throughput. There was a while it was even earlier.
Yeah, like he pushed it like an hour back, and then there was the time change, which helped.
Have you guys made any progress in D&D?
I mean, it seems like every time we make progress, Thupa just expands the domain of what we're gonna be working with.
Yeah, that's what he wants, a sandbox. So yeah, we can do this endlessly.
Yay!
Yay!
I do want to try that. I do want to try that RPG that Michi found sometime.
The heart one?
Yes, the heart one.
Yeah, that one sounds pretty cool.
I do want to try it, but I am continuously baffled as to like when I'll get the chance to.
Yeah.
Because I 100 like I want to try it. Like I want to DM a small group and experiment with it and see how it goes and learn how to run the game like before anything else. And so I don't want to try to bully Thupa into letting it temporarily like replace D&D and then have like 8 people trying to learn it at once, which would defeat the point. But it is difficult to try to find a time when I would run it, which is frustrating.
I mean, yeah, the fact that you work like 6 days a week is like not great for stuff like that.
It's not. The benefit is I can usually control when I start work, and my mornings are usually pretty free. But then there's the issue of everyone else, and it's hard
Yeah.
to ask other people to slip in another game session on a weekday when they're playing D&D for 6 hours a day on Sunday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's definitely true. But yeah, if you if you like want to experiment with the game or something, or need someone for that, I guess I would be up for that. Usually, given that I
Yeah.
tend to have a lot of free time.
Yes!
What happened to ride
Oh.
the snake?
I got on top of the mountain, so if I can avoid falling off the mountain, I'm in good shape. Yeah, because I want to try Heart because it seems like Heart legitimately addresses a lot of the things I do not like about D&D.
It seems a very what's the word? Not constrained, like a positive version of constraint.
Structured or
Like smaller in size, basically.
yeah,
Then
I like smaller stories. I've had fun with Thupa doing D&D before, but the current style of D&D he's doing is just something that I really can't handle for long stretches.
Yeah, it's difficult to like focus for 5 hours and also just not have any end in sight.
Yeah. It's just like a very big difference between how Thupa and I engage with like media and games and stuff. Where with Thupa, if he gets to like, okay, we're 50 hours in and we've barely even started, hell yes, I've won. Because Thupa just loves when things are gigantic and sprawling. So from his perspective, he's pulling off like an incredible slow burn that's going to take hundreds and hundreds of hours to complete. And from my perspective, like I just can't psychologically handle that kind of thing. So I had the I would like to do D&D again, but it would have to be the type of D&D like that I've done with him in the past, where like it's a very self-contained story with a clear endpoint, and it's structured. Like I can't just spend 7 hours just like shooting arrows. But Heart, I want to try Heart because one, there's this exponential ramp up in Heart, where as you go along, it just becomes exponentially more difficult to keep the story on the rails, where you are going to get shoved into an ending as you go along one way or another.
Yep.
And also everything in Heart, and this is interesting. I've been looking up the rules to Heart because I want to try to run it at some point. In Heart, every action has a cost basically, where every time you try to use your skills to do anything, there's always a chance that you're going to incur stress, and stress, just gradually makes it more and more likely you're going to take, major damage or hardship every time you do anything. Where it's not just you roll and if you fail, you get a minor bad outcome or something. You get a long-term impediment against your character's ability to function in the world and do things. So
yeah, I mean the whole point
just
of
a lot
the game
of
is how it ends, like ferrying the people to the ends of their characters.
Yeah,
like
and
the whole idea is dying for the characters.
Yeah, and I
because
really like that. That
the big
appeals to my
thing.
sensibilities. That sounds like a fun storytelling conceit.
Yeah, I mean I really like the idea, and the other game that they did before, I forgot the name.
Spire.
Spire? Yeah, Spire.
Spire.
Yeah. Also sounded pretty interesting. I mean, yeah, I'd be up for Heart if you run it some time.
Yeah.
It also seems like you can keep the sessions like shorter. It does not seem like you have to run
yes.
extremely long sessions to get anywhere.
Well, you don't have to with D&D either. It's just the way.
No, but that's how Super does it. I mean, I'm fine with it. I'm just not the person that has like good physical and mental health, but it has been working out well enough for me so far, so I don't really have a problem with it.
Yeah, I just don't have the
What?
Oh, am I going straight to space? Am I going straight to space? Oh, no.
What the fuck? I've seen this before, but it surprised me again.
Oh, in Foddy?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you can't show the actual ending or Foddy will sue you,
Right.
which is the funniest thing.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
this looks like it.
Yeah.
Kabam.
And you like always do that?
Do you always go into space?
Yeah, that you always have this little, well, I won't call it a moon that you're carrying around.
I think that's just the mouse.
Oh, the cursor?
Oh, what the fuck?
I-
Okay, actually, there was like one moment where the cursor looked like a little part of the asteroid or something. So I thought you just dragged something with you. But okay, no, it's just a cursor.
Yeah, I don't. And the cursor wasn't there for most of it. I wonder why that came back. I think there's an option to have the cursor come or go. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, but heart appeals to all my sensibilities. But I want to do a test session, or at least just like a test campaign where maybe even just 2 people with me, but like 3 at the most. That's another thing. I think having like 7 people in a D&D campaign is way too much. Like especially when it's not very structured. So yeah, I do want to try hard.
Yeah. I mean, we were down to 3 at a time, and we are 5 now. So, like,
Yeah.
I think, like, personally, from the campaigns I've listened to, having like 3 players seems like the most ideal for D&D. But that's just how I've seen it.
Yeah. I think 3, maybe 4, and even having 2 can be good.
Yeah.
Like when before the, unfortunate events in Ukraine disrupted what we were doing, Michi and I were having Thupa run a 2-person campaign. We were having a perfectly great time. It helps that Michi's an attention whore, and that, as am I. I'm not casting aspersions. Okay, No, Foddy, I do not solemnly swear that I am not streaming this. So, let's go there, and okay, I beat Foddy again. I'm getting ever closer to my golden cauldron.
The golden calf. Okay, I think I will have to put a pizza in the oven now and then eat it, and I will rejoin you later.
Yeah.
If you're still streaming or still in a call or something.
I'm honestly not totally sure. I'll see what's going on with John. I also might just stop and then start again later if people want to do something later.
Yeah, okay, that also sounds fine.
John, how are you feeling?
I'm okay. Do you have anything else you wanted to do?
I could do something, but I don't have any great ideas. I was just kind of talking.
Yeah, at the moment we were just talking.
I mean, I might just end the stream and see what goes on later.
Yeah. Just asking John, have you ever played Bonanza?
Don't think so.
Don't think so. I mean, Michi is the Bonanza ambassador, but he introduced Green and me to it, and he plays it like a lot, and it's really fun. We haven't played it in a while.
I actually have I actually have a physical copy of Bonanza that I got recently. It's the 25-year special edition. It comes in a little book, which is cool. Well, okay. I have
we could think about that eventually.
I have a feeling I will stream more later. I'm not totally sure though. I feel like I should end it for now because I just don't have anything set up. So.
Okay, that's cool.
Okay. I mean, I can chat for a few, but I'm gonna leave. I'll probably be back later if anyone's listening. So
I mean, I will also probably be back later.
Yeah, but I think we need a few hours off at least because I've been sitting here for a bit. So go turn this off.
Okay.
End stream.
End